What's up, dudes and dudettes, it's Michael, and today I'm going to be teaching you the basic Frost DK PvP rotation. I know a lot of people, wanted me to teach them how to do basic Frost PvP. Obviously, this is going to be different because this is not the highest ranked PvP. This is going to be basically up until you get to 85, what the rotation is going to be like. There will be a video once my tune reaches 85 of basically teaching you guys how to do 85 PvP, but right now, Frost is the best spec for PvP, and I will be basically, like I said, teaching you the rotation, the glyphs, and talents needed to do high damage in a rated battleground. So, yeah. Alright, so before you get started with anything, you're going to need to obviously master your talents. So talents are very simple with Frost DKs. Obviously, it's almost using every single talent spec. You guys can check a look here. Basically, we have 3 in Runic Power Mastery, 2 in Icy Reach, 3 in Annihilation, 1 in Lichborn, 2 in On a Pale Horse, and 2 in On Endless Winter. Also, we have 2 in Merciless Combat, 2 in Chill from the Grave, and most importantly, 3 in Killing Machine. Basically, Killing Machine is one of the best things that Frost DKs use to hit down their targets extremely fast. I'll go into that later though when we get into the rotation. 1 in Pillar Frost. This is not necessary. Obviously, you can use this. If you do not want to use this, you could put 1 into Improved Frost Presence, but this is, like I said, not necessary. 1 into Improved Icy Talons, 2 into Brittle Bones, 2 into Chill Blades, 1 into Hungering Cold, and then this is your personal preference. The Might of the Frozen Wastes, you're going to put 3 into that if you want to use 2-handers, or Threat of Thracian, you're going to want to put 3 in that if you're going to use 2 one-handers like dual wield. And then finally, 1 into Howling Blast. This is very important as well. Now, once you get all 31 points into Frost spec, pretty much it's really personal preference. Personally, I'm going into 2 into Unholy Command under the Unholy spec. It basically regenerates your death grip faster. Also, I'm going to put 3 into Versalence, 2 into Discrimination, and 3 into Bladed Armor, which will cap me off there. So I'll be doing a high amount of damage and slowing the targets. So now on to glyphs. These glyphs are not changeable. Obviously the minor glyphs are personal preference, but the major and the prime glyphs are necessary 100%. So basically you're going to want the first glyph of Frost Presence. Basically, Frost Strike. This basically increases or decreases the amount of runic power you need for your Frost Strike. And with the talent that increases your runic power to 130, you're going to be able to do between 3 and 4 rune Frost Strikes in 1 full runic power. You're going to want to put Glyph of Howling Blast as the other prime glyph. This basically infects your target with Frost Fever, slowing them and doing damage. It's very nice because obviously Howling Blast is a ranged attack, and you can pretty much slow people down with that. Obviously, Glyph of Obliterate, it's going to increase your damage by 20%, obviously critting way higher and doing some really high nasty hits. Now on to major glyphs. Basically, Glyph of Anti-Magic Shield increases your duration of Anti-Magic Shield by 2 seconds. Glyph of Chains of Ice, your Chains of Ice also causes 150 frost damage with the additional damage depending on your attack power. And then finally, I don't have that glyph, but I would either do Glyph of Death Grip or Glyph of Hungering Cold. The Hungering Cold ability now costs no more runic power. Now minor glyphs, these are all under personal preference, but personally I have Glyph of Resential Grip. Your death grip ability fails because the target is immune. Basically your cooldown is reset, so if the target's immune, you get a free death grip again. You don't have to wait 30 seconds. Glyph of Path of Frost, basically this decreases the falling damage when Path of Frost is activated. And then Glyph of Horn of Winter. Basically, when you have Horn of Winter, it lasts 1 minute longer, which can be good in case you forget to buff. Obviously, it'll last 50% longer than it normally would at 2 minutes. So yeah, that's the basic glyphs and talents. Make sure you pause the video. My Armory link is in the description, so if you want to see that, you can go on and basically copy all my stuff. And obviously most of it is personal preference, but I think this is a good setup for all you guys who are wanting to do Frost DK PvP. Alright guys, now into the final step, the rotation. For this rotation I am using a two-handed weapon. I have found that they actually do hit higher compared to dual one-handers. Obviously it is all personal preference. If you're the type of person who likes fast hitting things, basically two-handers or two one-handers are going to be good for you, but if you want high crits and high amount of damage, obviously you're going to want to do a two-handed weapon. So, what you're going to want to do is, say you're far away, you're going to want to start off with either a Chains of Ice or a dual Howling Blast. For this thing I'm going to do two Howling Blasts, so Howling Blast, and you're going to want to come in with a Death Strike, then Rune Strike. When you get this Killing Machine proc, you're going to want to Rune Strike again, Rune Strike, Howling Blast, Death Strike, Rune Strike, Obliterate. So if you didn't get that, most people would be down by then. It's relatively simple, and I was doing it a bit slower so you can do it way faster if possible. So basically what you're going to want to do, again for a review, come in with a Howling Blast, Death Strike, Rune Strike, Death Strike when it's up, Howling Blast when it's up. When you get this buff right here, you're going to want to do Rune Strike, it crits, Rune Strike, until your runic power's down, Death Strike, Howling Blast. And then when you get this power again for the final time, you want to finish off with an Obliterate. That's going to do a very high amount of damage to finish off the target. Okay, so this is where you can interweave your kind of own abilities. So if you're fighting a Clothy, instead of doing Rune Strike when you have the Killing Machine proc, it'll show it on your screen, you're going to want to use Obliterate. It'll hit a way higher amount of damage. So say I'm fighting a Clothy, I'm going to come in, Howling Blast, Death Strike, Rune Strike, Death Strike, Obliterate, 6k, Rune Strike, Obliterate, Rune Strike, and they would be done by then. So it's very simple, like I'm saying. Obviously you can interweave your own targets and stuff like that, and your own maneuvers and stuff. Obviously you can pop your cooldown, you can use Empowered Runic Weapon to down them even faster. Personally, if I was fighting the caster, I would freeze them and then go in with the Howling Blast and then Death Grip them accordingly. Obviously you're going to want to save your Death Grips. If they're running away, you can obviously use the Death Coil to do some more damage on them. But also a benefit of having the Glyph of Howling Blast is basically it puts on the Hungering Cold, so they can do, so like if rogues cloak, they'll get uncloaked after a certain amount of time, so it's very helpful. Obviously the Howling Blast hit upwards of 2k, see I just hit a 4k there, and then if you come in with a Rune Strike, you can hit like upwards of 2k. Obliterates with the buff hit over 6k, guaranteed, so if you're fighting a Clothy, you're definitely going to hit extremely high. Obviously this is a level 70 target, I'm level 78, but higher level PvP will be hitting upwards of 25% of their health with an Obliterate, so it's very nice, really easy. Engraving wise, you're going to want to engrave your weapon with the Rune of the Fallen Crusader. It both will heal you and increase your strength by 15% for 15 seconds. Obviously you see the buff up here, that is on a random pop, obviously, but you want to make sure though, whenever you get that runic Killing Machine proc that pops up, it'll show it on your screen. You want to make sure you use it. You don't want to waste it. It's very important. Even if you have to go aggro another target, that power is very important. It's 100% critical strike, guaranteed with either a rune or with either a Frost Strike or an Obliterate, and that can hit a very high amount of damage, like see a 4k with just a basic Frost Strike. They pop a lot, so you can hit them and you can do a very high amount of damage, even higher than blood decays. So I really recommend this spec. It's really good for PvP, and like I said, I will be doing a higher level 85 PvP rotation later, as well as a UI interface you see right here. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you please leave a rating and a like. That would be awesome. Also comment what you guys think. So yeah, I definitely put a lot of research into this video and just took some time to get the best rotation possible. So yeah, just give you guys a quick preview with dual wield. I mean, obviously you're gonna be hitting faster, like this, hitting 2Ks constant. Those are your crits are gonna be 2Ks because your weapon is higher. higher speed but lower damage. But you, like, obliterates are only going to be up to 4k instead of 6k. So you won't get as many killing blows personally, but you'll be doing a lot more damage. So really, it's overall, like I said, personal choice. If you want to go high-ranked PvP, I would definitely say two-handers are going to be the way to go. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and peace out, and have an awesome day, and see you.